The Adventures of David Perkins. Like, subscribe, comment. King Doniert was a Cornish king who, according to an early Welsh chronicle, the Annals Cambrai, drowned at sea in about the year 875. One of the crosses bears a weathered inscription that reads Doniert rogavit pro anima, translated as Doniert has asked for this to be made for his soul's sake. Excavations have revealed an underground rock-cut passage that starts to the southeast of the crosses and terminates in a cross-shaped chamber beneath the two stones. This 15th century bridge spans 20 metres across the River Kennet, lying on the ancient route from Bury St Edmunds to Cambridge. It is perhaps not strictly a Packhorse bridge, since it was, and still is, wide enough to also take carts. Tattershall College is the remains of a grammar school built in 1460 from the patronage of Lord Ralph Cromwell, treasurer to King Henry VI of England. The building is notable for being one of the oldest brick-built structures in England, and the remains that can be seen here today represent an almost complete example of the perpendicular style of architecture. This small chapel-like building was probably built in about 1510 by the Augustinian canons of the nearby Priory of St Germans, and dedicated to St Ethelred. At one time, the spring at Dupath was believed to cure whooping cough, and it has been suggested that in addition to its role in healing the sick, the spring may have been also used on occasion for baptisms. The building may have been a worthwhile financial investment for the canons of St Germans, since visitors to the spring would have left offerings. Monastic records of the time reveal that such sources of income were jealously guarded by religious houses. Although the cult of holy wells was condemned at the time of the Reformation in the mid-16th century, local reverence for them and folklore customs continued. This Norman chapel is the best example in the country of a small Benedictine priory church that has remained substantially unaltered. The walls of the original 12th century building all survive, and only the raising of the nave roof when the chapel was converted to a barn has altered its overall shape. Isleham Priory was probably founded around the year 1100 by Count Alan of Brittany. Count Alan later gave the church at Isleham to the Benedictine Abbey of St Jacques-sur-Mer in Brittany. In 1440, Isleham was granted to Pembroke College in Cambridge, and either then, or at some point after the Reformation, the chapel was converted into a barn. Founded in the late 12th century, Shap Abbey was one of only 32 religious houses in Britain of the Premonstratensian order. The abbey was a small community of only 12 canons, governed by an abbot. The most eminent abbot of Shap Abbey was Richard Redman, elected in 1458. Abbot Redman became the head of the Premonstratensian order in England and was eventually appointed as the Bishop of Ely. Life at Shap Abbey came to an end on the 14th of January in the year 1540, when it surrendered to the agents of King Henry VIII of England during the dissolution of the monasteries. St Catherine's Castle is an artillery fort built during the 1540s. A map of Fowey Harbour, made in 1540, marks the site as half-made. When completed, the castle formed part of a comprehensive system of coastal defences that were begun during the reign of King Henry VIII of England, after the country's break from the Church of Rome. The building of the castle was supervised by Thomas Treffy, who would later supervise the building of the larger castles at Pendennis and St Maurs.